Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic That's Non-Classics. This is episode number 1776 and double shot number 1670. Now, I do have a Hulk trade. Yes, a Hulk trade. This is from Jeff Parker. But first, before we talk about the Hulk trade, this is individual issues. Now, I, for some reason, cannot get my hands on the trade that collects these issues. You're probably thinking, what trade are you talking about, per se, when it comes to... Now, this is basically all about Thaddeus Ross. Now, the trade I'm talking about is Planet Red Hulk, which collect the issues 30.1 and 31 and 36. And that's it. Now, I'm going to start with a story, a two-parter that started issue 30, which I don't remember if I discussed this when I discussed the Scorcher trade. Yeah, it's a story basically featuring Rick Jones, a.k.a. Bomb, where he battles monsters for this issue and in issue number 31. And that's it. That's literally all that happens in these backup stories. Now, 30.1. Yes, and I should point out though, this is this book's only point one. Yes, this is the only one that the series published. And this run managed to end 27 issues afterwards. Yeah, this is just a standalone issue. Unlike other point ones, one person say the point ones usually had really terrible artwork. Not this issue. Oh no. This is to put the Red Hulk take on some small military group who want to kill him. Does it lead anywhere? Well, it has a buying robots and getting his hands on a woman named Anne. It's a story called The Whale. It's with a couple different artists. It's Gabriel Horman and Tom Palmer. It really doesn't lead much or anything at all. Nope. Now, 31 to 36. First 31 is basically when there was a character made her debut in this very run. Yes. Now, I should point out, though, that she was a scientist who basically... I did kind of talk about this character before when I discussed the Fear Itself Hulk trade, but this is something else altogether. Yeah, this was a scientist who basically appeared in the book, and I think it was this issue right here, which became 01. Yes, it's Dr. Pearl Kuroji, who appeared in the first issue of this run, which was issue number 25. And she simply put basically did appear in... Well, here's the thing. She appeared in two issues, 25 and 26. This actually was a return. First time was issue 26. Yes, that was the last time she appeared in the book. The next time she appeared was issue 31. And this book here... This is where she becomes 01 for the first time. And she's like this throughout the rest of this run. Yeah, she's an ally of the Red Hulk, and she's here for pretty much, like I said, the whole run as a recurring character. They have this odd start off, basically, where there's this group of people texting at a barbecue, and they talk about arguably what's better, basically cow or pork. And then Hulk shows up, and just everybody runs away, and he's like, okay, you want to talk to me? I'll just have her beef. And Anna. Anna is a android who is supposed to be kind of, in a way, Red Hulk's love interest. Basically, 30.1 was her debut. And the thing is, if you're curious though, is she here the whole run? Yes, she is pretty much here for pretty much the entire run. Her last physical appearance was in the final issue of this book, which was called simply Hulk in issue 37. After that, she was never seen again. No, seriously, she was not seen again. As for why in the world this was, the answer is I have no idea. Yeah, in case you're curious though, How many issues did she miss if she's here since 30.1? Well, the 31 being her first regular issue. I mean, she missed 35, 34, 35. And she also missed issues 43 to 46, which basically we'll discuss that. 50 and 52. And then I think she missed a small handful of issues. Basically, like in the case of 01, an original character for this run, the only two supporting characters in this whole book. Yeah, this is, of course, also when the Doctor becomes 01. Basically, this scientific hybrid who works with Red Hulk. Works with a rock creature, and she's working a helicarrier. It's interesting at best, and basically, if you're thinking, they do hint at basically Red Hulk fighting Omega X. Yeah, Omega X is a robot who appears in this run. I think this robot just appears in its first appearance was issue 29. And this was actually its first appearance since issue 39. And it's here for 31, skips an issue, here for a few more issues. Its last appearance was in Hulk 41. No, seriously, that was the last time it physically appeared. And when I finish talking about these issues, that's the last we'll see of this robot. Yeah, seriously. And, by the way, the backup story in issue 31, it simply put A-Bomb meeting up with the cousin of Hulk's cousin, Jennifer Walters, and his daughter, Lyra. And it just deals with a monster story. Of course, it reunites with his hologram girlfriend. Girlfriend turns to be a hologram, and, well, does it lead to anything? Not really, per se. Yep. Yeah, pretty much issue 32, just a continuation of the plot thread started issue 30.1. Yes, with just Hulk going on like this. It's like a spy book in a way, and just going to various places while encountering 01. It's kind of a weird storyline. And, of course, the end of issue 32, we have this guy show up. The Black Fog. Yes, seriously, that is what this character is called. Is he an original character? Yes. Yes, he is. And is he still around? Well, no. Yeah, it seems as though he only appears just in this run. This is another character. Yeah, it seems as though whatever character Jeff Parker creates this run, they're exclusively in this book. Black Fog is like a murderer. Yeah, it's basically like Zero forming her own version of like the masses view to take on the Red Hulk. The storyline itself gets wrapped up in 33 because 34 and 35 is the Planet Red Hulk stuff. It's the villains. So you bring back these villains to fight the Hulk in issue 33. Really good stuff here. And then, of course, basically, Red Hulk gets shut out to a planet. Yes. And the scene is very reminiscent of what happened in Prelude to Planet Hulk, except that this is Steve Rogers recommended. Of course, he does come back. Don't worry about that. And Planet Red Hulk is only just a quick 3-parter. Yes. Also, I should point out, though, with 34, they actually do this thing where every time they begin a story arc, they have the banner of the storyline be on the top of the cover. And it is like this pretty much for the rest of this run. Yes, anytime we begin a story arc, we gotta put the banner on top, basically take up like a border. You're probably thinking, okay, where does Red Hulk go? What planet is this, you might ask? Is it Sakaar? Excuse me. The answer is no. It's a completely different planet. Yes, it is a planet named... Yeah, it's all about him basically just going to this planet, just basically just a place for him to stay for a while. Yeah. And it's only here just, I thought it was 3-part. No, I think it's actually just a 2-parter. Yes, because I think with issue 36 it's a completely different story. Yeah, it is. Basically, it's kind of like, oh, let's have Red Hulk into space for a couple issues, and then send him right back. It's like Jet Parker trying to recreate the World War Hulk storyline, but World War Hulk, basically Planet Hulk. And one thing about the people of Terra, they look very similar species to that of Hulk's late wife, Clara Ostrong. Yes. I don't know why, but they do. It's kind of odd, to say the least. The Tartans. Yes. I mean, when I see them, they kind of look like, basically, like I said, Claire Ostrong, basically similar species. And also, it reminds me, this planet reminds me a lot of Warlord of Mars a bit. Yeah, so Red Hulk has got this oxygen, because you don't know, basically, this planet's got oxygen. And it has a hallucination of the Avengers, and of course, so with the World War Hulk. Yeah. It's a more of a quick side thing, like, oh, let's have basically Red Hulk beat the thing, and of course become the Red King, and then he goes home in the very next issue. Yeah, which begs the question: what was the point of going to space? Yeah, going to space. Yeah, this whole storyline is pretty much wrapped up with the very next issue. It's kind of like, oh, a quick 2-parter, and then we have Red Hulk encountering a female Watcher. Yeah. Maybe basically this Watcher wants to see the guy who actually punched Uatu. And then, of course, basically, like, Red Hulk just wanted to pretty much pretend this whole thing just never happened. Yep. And then we finally to issue 36, which basically is Red Hulk versus Zaz. Yes, Zax. Yes. Zax is a electric Hulk villain who has been around for a long time. I believe he's like a... I don't think he's a Pacific Stan Lee creation. No. I mean, he's popped up occasionally, but that's the thing with Zaz. I mean, prior to this story, his last appearance was back in Mighty Avengers number 32, which came out like just 2 years prior to this. Yes, Zaz himself is a creation of Steve Eckhart and Herb Temple. Yeah, he's the villain who doesn't really appear a lot. Get this, okay? Like, made his debut in May 1973 in Incredible Hulk 166. Has only made 27 appearances in almost 50 years. Yes, seriously. And here's the thing. He's here for this issue, and he's here for the following 2-parter. Next couple issues relate to Fear itself. And then he appears as Avengers featuring Hulk and no miniseries. Yes, seriously. He appears here for this one miniseries. Appears your Champions. And this is Champions Volume 2. Came out in 2019. He returns just a few years later with Hulk Grand Design Monster. And that is it. No, seriously. That was his last physical appearance to date when it comes to... Yeah, when it comes to Zaz, it's like, okay, pair like one miniseries, an issue of an ongoing, and the first issue miniseries, and that's it. Yeah. My only guess they had Jeff Parker fight Zax is because he's a familiar foe. That's it with the purpose of it. These issues are okay. This progresses a little bit further. Now, next one's quite interesting because it's Hulk of Arabia. This collection is 42 to 46. Yeah, this is a guest appearance by a character named the Arabian Knight. Yes, also he gets a chance to fight the Secret Avengers, the Brubaker version of the group. Yep, he does. Which you're thinking, really? Now you're thinking Arabian Knight. Like, here's the thing comes to Arabian Knight. Okay, now the actual Arabian Knight, he's let's just say this is not the this is not one, this is actually one of the guys from Arabian Nights. This guy appeared back in 2006. Yeah, the original one is a character who is associated with the Hulk, kind of. He made his first appearance back in Incredible Hulk 250 back in 1980. Died at Thunderbolts 55. They did have a Arabian Night appear for a couple issues of the original Howling run. But this one is the most recent Arabian Night, but he's not the original. This is more like the second one. Yeah, first appeared back in 2006. And, like, appears in the Union Jack miniseries, appears here. And one issue Avengers, which actually came out a few years after this. And that's it. Yeah, not much stuff for the guy. Though this version of him does appear to issue 44. Yeah, Hulk basically wants to fight the dictator of this place. He fights him, and just a fun Arabian story. I mean, I guess Jeff Parker felt this, though. Why not do a Lawrence Arabia type story for Red Hulk? Why not? I mean, it's interesting. Of course, the artwork here is done by Patch Zurcher. Yep. And of course, we have a guest appearance by Aaron Steck, the Machine Man. Yep. Yeah, this is what Red Hulk was up to after Fear itself. Basically doing this. Yeah. Also, for some reason, they have Valkyrie and stuff. Like, you have War Machine. And now, the Marvel Avengers were here. Most of them are here except for Ant-Man. Nova. Yeah, this, of course, is the Brubaker lineup. The only ones not, like I said, everyone's not here is basically Ant-Man, Sharon Carter, and I'm trying to think, was anybody else? Moon Knight's not here either. Basically, some of the Secret Avengers here mostly is just Valkyrie, War Machine, and Black Widow. Yep. And this is during a period of time, I believe when this came out, I think Brubaker had just wrapped up his very brief run for this book. For Secret Avengers when they appeared in this book. Yes, I believe so. Yes. Yeah, basically because you have Commander Steve Rogers. So yeah, this has been Brubaker basically. I think he had already wrapped up his run for the book. Yes. Now, I have not talked about the Secret Avengers. They're appearing outside of their own solo book. I would probably say I'm looking at it right now, like small chunk of the stuff they've been in. Yes. I would probably say aside from this book, the only books left to go are just Taskmaster Volume 2, the Thunderstrike book. Yes, and I believe that Brubaker, like I said, he had just wrapped up his run for, like, when they appeared in this book. Excuse me. Yeah, this was just after Warren Ellis started his run for the book. Yeah, a run that was so short. A run as soon as it wrapped up, Sharon Carter, War Machine, and Moon Knight removed from the roster. Yeah, I'm not really sure why. In the book, there's no explanation for it at all, because that's the thing. 21, those three characters are dropped for absolute reason all, and they're replaced with Hawkeye, Captain Britain, and Venom. Yeah, seriously. Fun storyline. I gotta say, a little better than the Red Hulk stuff. I felt like basically just retread old ground. This, just pure fun. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. And with that book, there is 2 more books left to go for this run. Yep. 2. Excuse me. And you're thinking, what is left? Haunted Hulk and Mayan Rule. That's it. Just these 2 trades. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I'm getting kind of close to wrapping up this run for Hulk. When I get a chance to talk about Mayan Rule, and of course, well, Haunted Hulk, when I talk about these 2 trades, I'll give my final thoughts on this run. And yes, I will talk about eventually Red She-Hulk, which was the book, which was retitled to issue 58. Yep. So yes, that's going to be pretty much it for this particular review. I was thinking of watching Skeleton on the World tonight, but I'm basically running out of time, so I'll watch it tomorrow, okay? Next video. Bye.